What's up, Steelers Nation? It is your man, host of Six Rings and Counting, Corey Idle. Just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up for these upcoming shows, specifically revolving around the top 100 free agent list. These shows were recorded early, prior to free agency actually kicking off. The list only included those we knew were going to be released by their teams or had the potential of getting the franchise tag, like a T. Higgins. The list does not include any of these new guys coming up, such as Joey Bosa, Gus Edwards, etc. That being said, Lou and I will be on later to make sure all of the new information is covered and you guys are taken care of across the board, and how everything is, of course, going to affect our fantastic home team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll catch you guys soon. Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. I'm your host, Corey Idle, and joining me, as always, he's got to be sick and tired of this hetero marriage, my man, Mr. Lou Willard. Lou, what's happening?
It's a busy time of the year, man. I'm still on location.
Yep.
Still on location. I want to go home, Forrest.
They're working you like a dog.
Hey, you know I ain't gonna leave it right there. Got me, like New Jack said, for all you wrestling fans, got me bound in the in the chains of the bowels of a slave ship.
And with that,
I didn't say it.
Review of the movie.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. New Jack did.
All right.
I was repeating what he said.
Fair enough.
Because it was funny.
How about we just get into the free agent market after that?
See, I owed you that. Before we get into the show, I owed you that from the last show when you pulled that bullshit you pulled on me.
I knew there was one coming back at me. I knew there was one.
But we can get at it.
All right. Now that we've got race relations settled in this country, you're welcome, America. We're going to talk some football. And we're starting off at number 13 on our top 100 free agent list. Cornerback, Charvarius Ward, San Francisco 49ers. Much like Byron Murphy, this is a guy I would go after, Lou.
Yeah, you got to go after one of the two if you're going to spend any money on the defensive side of the ball. I know some of this sounds repetitive, and we beat the dead horse, but you're really going to focus when you do these shows on the positions that the Steelers need. So I know y'all tired of hearing us going, oh, Ed, skip, cornerback, and we pound it, because you need it. But this is a guy that we could also look at too, if we can afford him. What side of the ball are we going to spend that $60 million on? That's it.
That's it. If I were to compare him, as because I've been obviously the high guy on Byron Murphy Jr.
Yeah.
If I were to compare the two, Charvarius Ward, if he were a stock, he's going this way as of last year. Byron Murphy's going this way. You might be able to get Charvarius Ward at a cheaper deal. I'd rather have the younger guy on an upswing. That's just me.
And I could agree on that. And you also have to look at who they played. Their divisions are different too. So all that stuff comes into play. Are you the one cornerback or the two? You come to Steelers, you're going to be the two.
Yep.
So that being said, this guy could very well be the better option.
And let's face facts.
He's going to be he's ranked higher, but I think he should be cheaper. So we both disagree with this list as in these rankings go. Long story short.
Yes, 100%, especially in the cornerback market. Like,
yes,
it's off.
Absolutely.
First off, I'll take Asante Samuel Jr. over everybody we've mentioned. Period. You get a better deal, and I think you get just as good as a defensive back, especially playing that number two on the opposite side of JPJ.
Yeah, I had to go back through the list real quick in my head, and I would agree with that.
Told you we solve race relations. Number 12 on our list, edge rusher, Hassan Reddick, New York Jets.
No.
Not
only because he's an edge, he's been a problem.
Yep. That's exactly what I
So,
was going to say. Even if we needed him, he's a discontent. I'd rather have somebody else that's not going to be a problem in that locker
yep,
room. And look, right or wrong on how he was treated with the Jets, I don't know. But I do
not
know
anything to do with us.
there's a way to handle it professionally and there's a way not to. And he
And,
seemed to
and,
go more of the not to.
and yeah, and that went down. First off, they should have never traded for him without an agreement in place, a contract agreement in place.
Yep.
So they were wrong. He was wrong. But we don't need that in our locker room.
No, 100%. The
And we
only,
don't need that position.
no. Here's an interesting one, Lou. Number 11 on our list wide receiver Stephon Diggs, Houston Texans.
I've looked at this one since we recorded the last show, and I've probably looked at it 5 or 6 times.
Yep.
But he became a malcontent in Buffalo.
Yes.
He seemed to be a good citizen in Houston,
Mm-hmm. Having
and
a great year.
unfortunately, he tore his ACL. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
his ACL.
Yep.
You can't do anything about that. When I played, I tore both of mine, one in each knee. I want one knee to feel jealous of the other knee, that kind of thing. But can he come in? He's a guy that will, if he's not getting the ball, he gonna start acting up on the sideline.
Yep.
We have one of those,
Yep.
so I'm gonna have to pass. And man, I'd love to have him come out there and play opposite of Pickens. But if
Mm.
we bring back Fields and you stick him out there opposite Pickens, we're gonna have two fools acting up on the sideline.
Yep.
If you bring back Russell Wilson, bring him in, everything's okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Y'all
I
have heard
mean,
me.
literally what I was going to say.
Y'all have heard me say it every show. So who's the quarterback going to be? Mike Tomlin. Return my call.
That's it. I mean, come on,
He
Mike. You got this
ignored my
man on the
call.
road working for you and you won't return his call?
Won't return my call. Omar won't return my call. I called Mr. Rooney. He won't return my call. I didn't expect him to return my call though, but I expected the other two to return my call. They ain't done it yet.
Man,
But
you know what
no,
Rick James said about
seriously,
that, right?
here we go.
Cold blooded.
That's what makes this show great. You a fool. But no, seriously though, it depends on the quarterback. If you're keeping Fields, don't bring in Diggs. If you're
Yep.
keeping Russ, feel free to bring in Diggs. They'll work out.
100%. 100%. Number 10 on our list edge rusher, Josh Sweat, Philadelphia Eagles. It doesn't matter if we
Edge,
needed him,
edge,
he ain't leaving.
yeah. And he's not leaving, and the edge, and I'm out.
Yep. Enough said. Great season, though, man. Great Super Bowl, too. Yeah, just, I was really impressed by that linebacking core. They're so good. Number
Yeah, they
9
shut
on our
everything down.
list. Yeah. Quarterback, Sam Darnold, Minnesota Vikings.
Some guys blossom late,
Yep.
and that's what this appears to be,
Hmm.
which is awesome for this young man.
Yeah.
Because hopefully he gets about $150 to $200 million contract and sets his family up generational wealth. That is great, young man. Good job by you.
Yes.
Because people had given up on you. I'm talking, y'all listen to your own show right now. I'm talking Sam Darnold because I know he listens. That is a great job by you not to give up on yourself and to come back and show them what you can do when you have the right coaching
Yep.
and you have the players around you.
Yep.
And he would have the coaching in Pittsburgh. He'd have the players. I think if we could get the receivers.
Hmm.
I'm just a Justin Fields fan. I mean, so this is me being biased. And then this is me also looking at Mr. Darnold not having great success at the Jets, at San Francisco, and he got forced into action at Minnesota. Luckily, they had the coaching staff to coach him, and
Hmm.
he's throwing a Justin Jefferson, dude.
Yep.
You're throwing the Addison, you throwing to Hawkinson when he came back.
Yep.
You, Aaron Jones is up there. You should not mess that up.
And you had a nasty defense.
And nasty defense with a great defensive coordinator who, by the way, should have never got out of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
But we'll address that at a different show. But you shouldn't mess that up. But they fell apart at the end, and people blame him, but I don't think it was all him. There was no way it was all him.
No. And I mean, look, Sam Darnold had a horrible playoff game, but that also should be more of a reason why Mike Tomlin would want him because he'd fit right in. He
And
gets
the
it.
thing is,
We're just here to make the playoffs, not win a game. So
it, and it wasn't even the playoff game that he had horrible. It was the 2 games prior to that.
that's true.
So, but I, if they brought him in, I'd be highly disappointed. Long
Yeah.
story short, highly disappointed. But
Congratulations on your season. You were Geno Smith like in the comeback. We love it. But at the same time, no,
no,
here's my problem with it. I have no problem with the Sam Darnold. My problem is Sam Darnold doesn't fit Arthur Smith.
no,
So what that shouldn't even be on the table at this point.
yep.
Just my
And
opinion.
it's not what you need right now.
No.
So we'll
No.
move on. But I'm hoping the young man gets about 150 to $200 million contract from somebody though.
Oh,
Just
that'd
not
be
us.
amazing. That'd be
Oh, oh,
amazing.
oh God, I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it.
And you know the Jets are calling him, the Giants are calling him, the Raiders are calling him. Because if these guys at the top of the draft don't have to take one of these quarterbacks that a lot of experts are very unsure of, they won't. They'll settle
See
for
the
one
thing
of the great wide receivers that are NFL ready, or one of the great offensive linemen that are NFL ready, or old
but
boy out of Penn State, that edge rusher who's just
he's just a dog.
he
But
nasty.
he's already been to the Jets, which may
Fair.
rule out the Giants because it's the same market, same stadium. He just switching sides of the stadium where his locker room is at.
That is
He
fair.
may not want to go deal with that again. So he's a candidate for the Raiders or
Yep.
something like that if Russ doesn't go to the Raiders. But I'm hoping he gets paid
Yep.
because when your career, he came out ballyhoo. I mean, he came out top of the chart. So when it goes bad for you, like it went bad for him, and for him not to quit and give up on himself and to stick and stay and be a backup and just grind and grind, get another shot with a competent system and a coach and come back and play like he played. Bravo, young man.
Yep.
Because a lot of people quit. You know who
Oh,
need to sign it? You know who need to sign him? Cleveland. Cleveland need to
if they
sign
can
him.
afford to fucking sign him.
I don't, yeah, because they're a cap mess, but they
Yeah.
need to sign him to stabilize it. Even if they draft one of these 2 young men, Cam Ward, Shador
Oh,
Sanders, even if they sign one of them, sign Sam Darnold, let him play for a year, and let the young man that you just drafted sit, period.
100%.
But
And
now, if you do that, though, you got 400 million wrapped up in quarterbacks.
yep.
Yes, you can. So I'm not sure they can. But that's the kind of place he needs to go because he's a stopgap guy. He's not your franchise guy. But I'm glad he's going to get a big payday. I really am.
Yes. The place I would like to see Sam Darnold go, if everything, all the tea leaves worked out and they can move the pieces they need to, is the Rams. I think he'd do very well in the Rams system if they were able to get Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford moved out and freed up that kind of cap
Okay, yeah,
space.
yeah. There you go.
Yep.
Because I don't think Sam or Matthew Stafford's going anywhere. And I'm not sure Cooper Cup is, but if he do, I'd like to see him be wearing that Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
He's got to. I mean, look, we'll talk trades and rumors and all that stuff
That's
here in
yeah, we
another
got
show.
shows coming up. Yeah.
But my God, if Cooper Kupp does not become a Pittsburgh Steeler before this season starts, what are we doing? Just what are we doing?
You got to go get him.
Anyway, moving on our list. We spent a lot of time on a quarterback we're not going to get. Let's spend a lot of time on a
Right.
tackle we won't get. Number 8, tackle Ronnie Stanley, Baltimore Ravens. I mean,
He's
yeah.
not
You
getting
were
out
going to
the
say it.
building.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not getting out the building.
How much money would you throw at this guy? Now, I know we got Broderick. Let's say, perfect world, we let Dan Moore go. we're able to move Broderick for, let's say, a fourth or a fifth, how much money do you throw at Ronnie Stanley?
I should have pulled up the average amount that the tackles are making, but he should be one of the top. He struggled at one point, but when it kicked in, it kicked all the way in. And he's the left tackle, so he's the blind side tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be a top, I would say a top five, top six paid tackle in the league. Not the top, but
Yeah.
he should be in that 6 to 8 range. So
And
whatever that average is what he's going to get paid.
the
I mean,
average
we're
per
not talking.
year, the top right now, Trent Williams is about 27.5 million. Christian Darrisaw is at 26 million. Laramie Tunsil is at 25 million. Andrew Thomas is at 23.5. So,
And you're looking at a $20 million tackle.
yep.
And that's what I was getting ready to say before you pulled your numbers up. I was going to say he's not Trent Williams money,
Yeah, yeah.
but nobody is. Trent Williams walking into the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
But this young man is proven to be an 18 to $20 million a year tackle
mm-hmm.
with a lot of guaranteed money. And there's no way John Harbaugh is letting him out of that building. I'll be shocked if he leaves that team.
Can you speak to what it's like for a tackle to have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, as opposed to, let's say, Trent Williams just decided to retire and Ronnie
Yeah.
Stanley goes to San Francisco, where he's got a much more stationary quarterback? What does that difference for a tackle mean?
Well, when you call a pass play, you know the whatever pass pro you call. Pass pro is the blocking scheme for
Mm-hmm.
those of you may not know. You know you have to stay in the pass pro because he's not going to be bailing out and running. When you blocking for Lamar Jackson, you're kind of peeking a little bit and you get to know him. So you kind of get a feel for when he's going to bail and when he's not.
Mm-hmm.
So you know if you do get beat, believe it or not, you may not believe it, you may, but you can yell at him, move. If you get
Okay.
beat,
Yeah.
move. And he knows you, he's gone. So he just don't get crushed. He don't get smoked.
Right.
Football is a simple game. It seems complicated because there's 22 people on the field every play, but it's really not that complicated.
Yeah.
The quarterback knows what everybody does. Every other position knows what they do. And if you're going to be, I could speak for the running backs. If you're going to be a good running back, you know what every lineman does, and you know your pass
Okay.
pro because you can set your lineman up to have easier blocks, which helps you out. The
Right.
receivers just stand out there and argue with the cornerbacks. That's all they do. That's all. So they look really good. They wear flashy jewelry and they argue with cornerbacks. That's what they do. I love I love receivers. Hey, look, no offense to all my buddies who are receivers, but nonetheless, but to get back to your original question, it's
Wild.
easier to block for a mobile quarterback because you can have a slip up and he can get his ass out of there. You got a stationary dude, you can't have any slip ups, but at least you have the benefit of knowing where he's going to be
Mm-hmm.
because he's not moving. He'll just fall down.
Okay.
You know where he's going to sit. If it's a 5 step drop, you know where he's at. If it's a 7 step drop, you know where he's at. If we're booting to the right, which doesn't happen very often with a stationary quarterback, you
Yeah.
know where he's at. So you just have to focus on your guy.
Fair enough.
Long answer to a simple question.
I don't know. I don't know. Did you just call my question simple? That was messed
It
up.
was a not simple, but you know, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a question that I made into a
What Lou, what
essay.
Lou what Lou just said is, you see, the thing is, I got a checking account and a savings account. Anyway, number 7 on our list. One of these flashy jewelry, always arguing with the cornerback guys, Amari Cooper, Buffalo Bills.
We know, I don't think we need Amari. I
No.
mean, unless he's really willing to come in at a serious discount. I mean, he's going to be 30, 31 when the season starts.
Yep.
We don't need that.
No, he had problems with drops this year too. And
Yeah.
if he's having problems with drops with Josh Allen, he is not going to have a good time with Justin Fields.
Exactly. Now he would do better with Russ, but I'm still a guy hoping that Russ is the one that comes back. So
Yep,
we'll go from there.
100%. Number 6 on our list, cornerback DJ Reed, New York Jets. Lou, you
See,
spoke
now
about
we got
him.
my attention. Now
Yep,
we got my attention.
we spoke about him briefly in the last show. I had said earlier in this show, I will take Asante Samuel Jr. over everyone. Maybe DJ Reed gets that asterisk.
Yeah, see, now we up here to where I forgot this guy was on this list because
Mm-hmm.
this is who I would take and put him opposite of Porter. You can argue who the one is at that case because you have two ones.
Yep.
This young man is good.
And don't get it
So
twisted. He was playing opposite of Sauce Gardner, who does
Sauce
not
Gardner,
get thrown
yeah,
on.
yes,
So
and they
DJ
still
Reed
put up
was seeing the majority of the balls thrown at his side of the
at him,
field, and
yeah,
he ate them up.
and he ate him up, and he's done it since he's been there.
Yep.
So bring him on over because I know Pittsburgh. I know I want all the money to go to the offensive side of the ball, but they're not going to do that.
No.
So the reality is, if you're going to spend it defensively, go get us an interior defensive tackle and go get this young man right here and
100%.
watch how that defense change. Watch how much it change. This is the guy I would get. If they don't get your guy Samuel, I would definitely get this guy. And he's going to cost you some money, but you
Mhm.
can pay him now. And then that way, when Porter comes up, if he get crazy and want to leave, which I doubt he will because his dad played in Pittsburgh. But
Right.
if he does want to leave because it is about the money, you still have him. You
Yep.
still have DJ Reed. So
Yep.
this is a guy we'll make a strong push for. I will make a really strong push for him.
Love it. Love it. And totally agree with the contract stuff. If JPJ decides to show out a little bit and really try and garner money that we just can't afford, that's fine. Go get your
Yeah,
money. We don't need it. We got
yep.
DJ Reed in the background. We're good. Number 5, we can talk about how great of a player he's been. 1, we don't need him. 2, he ain't leaving. Edge rusher, Khalil Mack, Los Angeles
Yeah, I
Chargers.
mean, they may let him slide because he's getting a little up there in age, but
Mhm.
he has to understand where he's at. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. I mean, and that's debatable. Like you could say, no, Lou, you wrong. He is a Hall of Famer. Okay. I'm not here to argue that. But what I know, he's been a really, really good NFL player. He has nothing to be ashamed of about the career he's had.
Oh no.
Um, but I would love if he came to Pittsburgh, he'd have to play the Preston role or Preston Smith role, where
Yep.
you're coming in after Highsmith and Watt. I think he's still a starter. I mean, I'm
Oh,
sorry. I
100%.
think he's not. He doesn't need it. So this is out because he's a star. He's a peer starter.
Yeah, the GM of the Chargers came out today when we're recording this and basically said he's already talked to Khalil, he's already talked to his management or his
Oh, there you go.
representatives, and
Good.
they're very close on a deal and they very, very much want him back. They want him to end his
Good.
career in Los Angeles. So I don't think
Nice.
he's going
Nice.
anywhere.
That's good to hear. Hopefully,
Yes, sir.
hopefully, he can make some more money and be good.
Yes, sir. Here's a name we could possibly agree on at number 4, wide receiver Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
If he wants to sign today, I'm signing him.
I'm
I know he's
curious.
hurt.
That's
I know he's been hurt, but he is. If you want Cooper Cup,
mhm,
in my opinion, you'd have to want this guy. Both of them have been hurt,
that's true.
so you have to get. If you can get one or the other, you take the one that you can get on the better deal, and
Yep.
hope he stays healthy for a year.
And
Everything I say in these shows too are predicated on Pittsburgh bringing in Justin Fields,
of
not one of
course,
the stationary quarterbacks.
yes.
So you get the guy that can bail himself out, and you get the guys that can help him out with short routes always open. You know where they're going to be. He is Cooper Cup. They're the same receiver at this point in time. Both been hurt,
Yep.
in my opinion. So if we can get either one of them, I'm in. And I know he's coming off the injury. Didn't he just tear an ACL or tore
Left
something?
ankle
Oh yeah,
dislocated
yes,
his ankle.
yeah. When he snapped his ankle, yeah, it was
Yep.
bad. But if we could get him, I'd take him. He's a
Yeah,
quality guy. He's a good wide receiver, and he can be productive.
I'll tell you what, I was initially going into this just a flat no.
Why
The
was that?
money, because the money he was going to command to me
You're
wasn't
right.
worth the injury question. That
You're
being
right.
said, you are 100% correct on his comparison to Cooper Cup because the money will end up being about the same. You might have a little bit longer contract with Chris Godwin because Cooper Cup's getting long in the tooth.
Yeah, he's over
But
30. Yeah.
I mean, according to PFF, Godwin dropped fewer than 6% of his catchable passes.
Yeah.
And that's not last season. That's 7 of 8 seasons.
Yeah.
That's insane. Those
That's just
are
it. If we
those are
could
Cooper Cup
sign him,
hands. Yes. Stein
yeah,
it.
if
I'm
we
with
could
you
sign him, I'd
100%.
sign him. But I wouldn't overpay. I would not overpay. You
No.
brought up a great point that I didn't think of when you was like, he's going to command a ton of money.
Mhm.
Well, then he's out if he's
Right.
commanding a ton of money. But if he wants to come in to be in a stable organization with a realistic chance to win,
Yep.
then we can bring him in.
And it sounds callous, and I don't mean it this way, but from a business standpoint, I guarantee you everybody else means it this way. You have to hope his injury brings down his price tag a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. We
That
talked about that with a couple guys
Yep.
another show or two ago. Look, the
Yep.
fact that you got hurt, hey, thank you for getting hurt because you saved me $10 million.
hmm Now
It is what it is.
that doesn't mean he's not going to sit out next season, but
No,
that
yeah,
means you'll get
just
him for one.
that mean yeah, it means that you're going to get him you're going to get him at a cheaper price.
That's it.
That's the NFL. That's the
Yep.
NFL. It's a brutal business.
100%. Well, it's a business. All business is brutal.
Yeah,
People are monsters. We're evil. Number 3 on our list, safety Javon Hall at Miami Dolphins. We talked about him when he got released
we
by Miami. This was the first sighting of what are we going to do with Mika. So rewind, replay. We've talked about it a
look,
million
look.
times.
Like I said, go back, listen to the previous shows, like us, subscribe, please. We would greatly appreciate it, and you'll get the information about the safety position for Pittsburgh.
Yep, 100%. And number 2 on our big list, guard Trey Smith, Kansas City Chiefs.
The biggest question on him, unfortunately, is his health. And I
Yep,
don't mean his knee, his ankle. He has a problem with blood clots.
yep.
That is not good. So, damn football. I'm hoping the young man is okay.
And correct
And
me if
so,
I'm wrong, but blood clots in the cold, not great.
yeah, not great. So, hopefully, hopefully, somebody take a chance on him because he's still young. Like, he'll
hmm
be 25 next year. But when you're dealing with that kind of thing, man, you got to take care of yourself. Like,
Yep.
we all love football. We all love it. We all want to leave it on our own terms, but we all don't get to. I didn't get to. Hopefully, he does. And he can take care of his health issues because blood clots is serious.
Oh yeah,
That is nothing to play with.
we're not talking blood clots in his legs where you can go in and have those removed and blood thinner.
Yeah,
These are in
that's
his lungs. Like that's a
nothing to
totally
play
different
with.
ball game. No.
So, being in Pittsburgh situation where you really don't need a guard, I wouldn't mess with it. I'd call James, and again, that's me be calling James
hmm
Daniels, trying to get him on a better deal
Yep.
and moving on from there. But if you could get the kid and he's healthy and he's gonna be 25, hell yeah, you take him.
Yep.
But you can't guarantee if you can't guarantee his health from that standpoint, anybody can get hurt. But we're talking about health from blood clots.
That's it.
If you
That's it.
can't figure that out, then I wouldn't spend the money that it's going to take to sign him because it's going to take a lot of money to sign him. He's
Oh
not
yeah.
number 2 on this list for nothing.
No.
I
And if
don't.
you
First
think
off, I don't think he's getting out of Kansas City.
no, I don't think so either. Kansas City's got to do everything they can to re-sign that offensive line. I don't care if they have
Yep,
to start 7 tight ends like the Steelers are apparently going to do.
that's
They
what we
can
do.
they
That's
cannot let that
absolutely what we
offensive
do.
line go.
What you got? What you got against seven tight ends, Martin? No, we starting 7.
All of them right now. And to round out the big list, this is it. The surprise of all surprises. Nobody is as shocked as I am. Number one on our list, wide receiver, tight end. Jesus, I butchered that. Number one on our list, wide receiver, T. Higgins, Cincinnati Bengals. You got me on the tight ends. I don't even want a wide receiver now.
Yeah, all you want to do is play with tight ends. We gonna move the ball 3 yards in a cloud of dust,
Hey, you had
like
me
they
at play
want to
with
do
tight
anyway.
ends. I'm with it.
Hey man, PG show,
Oh, my bad.
PG show,
My bad.
PG show. But clearly, we'd take this guy if he wanted to come to Pittsburgh. We have the money to sign him. You sign him if he wants to come. Issue
Yep.
is, I honestly think the Bengals are going to sign him and tag Jamar Chase and piss Jamar Chase off for the next 2 years. That's what I
Yep.
could see happening because Joe Burrow said he need them all back. And
Mm-hmm.
clearly Cincinnati needs them all back, or they don't have a chance.
Yeah, they're not going
So
to draft a Super Bowl defense this year, and they don't have the
no,
salary cap, obviously, to
to go
keep
get
half the
them,
defensive players they got.
to go get them. I mean, you can't even extend Hendrickson.
No, you're not extending
You
Hendrickson. You're going to lose BJ Hill, and you're going to lose Mike Hilton. It's
there
just
you go.
facts.
There you go. On an already bad defense,
Yep.
you're
You better
losing
hope
two
you
more
have
people.
the best draft that ever happened. That's
You
the
you
only way Cincinnati's
you,
competing.
you have to.
Yep.
So I don't see him getting out of Cincinnati.
No.
He's mentioned he would love to play for the Steelers. And part of the reason he said that, let's just be honest, is because he's trying to drive up his price with Cincinnati because
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to play against him twice. Because realistically, the place he would want to go is go play at Tennessee, where your offensive coordinator's at is now the head coach.
Yep.
The question is who's going to quarterback Tennessee?
That's the question.
Question in Pittsburgh, who the hell going to quarterback Pittsburgh? If you stay put and can get a contract together, you're playing with potentially a Hall of Fame quarterback
And a
already
wide
back
receiver
there
one
who
that you know is getting double teamed, guaranteed.
and guaranteed. And you're going to play with him at least 2 more years.
Yep.
And the quarterback's already inked up on a long-term deal. And the reason I say Chase for 2 more years because they can franchise tag him, then
Yep.
they can tag him again. So I can't see him leaving Cincinnati, even though he said he would love to play for Pittsburgh. That I think a lot of that was to get he may respect Tomlin and the organization because
Sure.
if you don't respect Pittsburgh's organization, you just don't have respect for football. They've done nothing wrong. They run a top-notch organization.
Yeah.
But
100%.
he's saying that to make himself more money, which is smart. That's his agent putting that stuff out. But his ass is not leaving Cincinnati. If
No.
he does, my pick would be the Tennessee Titans or New England Patriots. He may choose New England because of Vrabel. Vrabel was very respected, as he should be.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hell of a coach. He should still be coaching Tennessee, quiet as
Mm.
kept. And they also have the money to pay him, and they also have a quarterback now. They, too many pronoun, I mean New England. He could be in New England and play with that young kid. Drake May is going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And they're better. He's better by far better than anybody Tennessee has.
Oh,
Because we
100%.
because
Regardless
we
of who
know
they
they're
draft.
we know they're playing Will Levis.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh don't have a quarterback on the roster.
No.
So he's not. Look, I'll take him today if he wanted to sign, but I could see him staying in Cincinnati or going to New England because
Yep.
of New England's quarterback situation, and they have the money to pay him 28 to $30 million a year.
That's it. If I'm looking at all things considered, you between Cincinnati, New England, and Pittsburgh, Cincinnati's clearly got the best quarterback. New England's probably got the
Oh,
second best
absolutely.
because Pittsburgh doesn't have one right now.
And he may be the second best if Pittsburgh had Justin Fields.
He could be. So You add that in with the fact that New England's going to pay him more money. Pittsburgh can
Mhm.
pay him more money. Cincinnati's paying him the least amount.
Yep.
I, yeah, I just New England makes a lot of sense for him. And all signs in the draft say that New England's going to end up going left tackle. So they don't need to draft a
Mhm.
receiver if they're able to sign T. He's going to get money tossed at him if he's not tagged.
He's looking at 28 to $30 million a year.
No, he's going to get a great
That's
contract
it.
and he deserves it. He's put in work.
Yeah.
He's put in work.
He,
And to be
he
frank, between him and Chris Godwin, and I know this is wild to say because I was just like, I don't know about Chris Godwin. I'd almost rather have Chris Godwin because he's a little bit older,
different route runner.
a different route runner. T. Higgins is really okay. We're running long, so this will be a different show, but this is where I'll end my piece. We need people that can run across the middle so we can start throwing the damn ball across the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
There you
all I'm
go.
saying.
But T. Higgins is another one of these guys on this list that helped me win a fantasy football championship. That's where I'll leave it at.
Thank you guys for joining us on Six Rings and Counting. Top 100 free agents are done. We will be updating you as Pittsburgh makes their moves. We will be having mock drafts coming up. We'll be having all kinds of fun. We'll be bringing guests on to help us. We'll play some fun games. I don't know what games we're going to play, except for the ones Lou plays with my heart. For Lou Willard, I'm Corey Idle. This is Six Rings and Counting. We will see you guys next time.